We are following a widespread severe weather emergency that has impacted thousands of lives across multiple states tonight. As darkness falls over the region, the full extent of the destruction caused by these violent storms is only beginning to come into focus. From uprooted trees and downed power lines to damaged homes, structure fires, and dangerous road conditions, this has been a night of relentless challenges for both residents and emergency crews. Our coverage begins in the Charlotte metropolitan area, where more than 8,000 Duke Energy customers are currently without power. The hardest hit communities include Matthews, North Carolina, and Indian Land, South Carolina. In Indian Land, outages were first reported just after 7 o'clock in the evening. The culprit: towering trees snapped like matchsticks by intense wind gusts, collapsing onto power lines and homes alike. In Matthews, where power disruptions began a little later, after 8 o'clock, the cause remains under investigation. But residents describe an eerie calm, shattered by sudden, violent winds and blinding sheets of rain. Across Mecklenburg County, more than 4,600 homes and businesses have been left in the dark. In South Charlotte, between Providence Road and Randolph Road, entire blocks are without electricity. For many, this came at the end of an already grueling day where temperatures soared to 100 degrees, straining both patience and infrastructure. First responders have been working non-stop, weaving through block streets and navigating hazardous conditions to check on residents and clear debris. The task has been made more difficult by the sheer volume of damage and the scattered nature of the destruction. Fallen trees block driveways, crushed vehicles sit beneath tangled limbs, and power crews face a dangerous maze of live wires and broken poles. In York County, South Carolina, the storm's fury was marked by hail and destructive winds that battered homes and vehicles. Windows shattered, roofs were torn apart, and yards were transformed into fields of debris. Residents there recount moments of terror as the storm struck, many huddling in basements or interior rooms as the wind roared outside like a freight train. Farther north, in McDowell County, North Carolina, the damage was both widespread and varied. Officials report at least 11 structures damaged and multiple vehicles crushed by falling trees and power lines. Most of the destruction was concentrated in the eastern and southern sections of the county, though other communities also suffered damage. In Dysartsville, first responders battled not just the storm's aftermath, but also a structure fire that erupted as trees and power lines came down, blocking access routes. Firefighters worked heroically, cutting through debris to reach the blaze and prevent further loss. The meteorological forces behind tonight's devastation are complex. A large dome of high pressure over the eastern United States, combined with exceptional heat and humidity, to create the perfect breeding ground for severe thunderstorms. Unusually, storms formed along coastal areas and tracked westward, a reversal of typical patterns that caught some communities off guard. These storms were loaded with moisture, bringing not just damaging winds, but also torrential rains that created flash flooding risks in low-lying areas.
How is that even possible? Somebody explain that to me. Look at the size of it.
And it was not just the Carolinas that felt the storm's wrath. In Minnesota, a series of tornadoes carved paths of destruction across Freeborn County. Residents in Heartland and surrounding areas documented narrow, rope-like funnels as they touched down in open fields and farmsteads. One tornado destroyed a barn, scattering debris across fields and roadways. Thunderstorms across the Midwest packed powerful downbursts, localized pockets of extreme wind, that toppled trees and power lines from Nebraska to Wisconsin.
Crazy. Look at that hail. Yeah, sure. There you go, sir. Isn't that crazy? All this hail.
Look at all the ice in here.
Crazy.
Closer to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. was also impacted. At Dulles International Airport in Northern Virginia, a severe thunderstorm produced a wind gust of 70 miles per hour, grounding flights and contributing to more than 20,000 power outages across the state. Commuters faced hazardous conditions as rain lashed the region and winds down trees onto busy roadways. Meanwhile, along the Gulf Coast and Florida Panhandle, forecasters are warning of additional dangers. The same storm system has the potential to bring 3 to 5 inches of rain in some areas, with a high risk of flash flooding, particularly in already saturated regions. Emergency management agencies across multiple states remain on high alert, with teams pre-positioned to respond as needed. Throughout the evening, social media has been flooded with images and videos capturing the raw power of these storms. Massive trees split down the middle, homes with roofs peeled away, vehicles submerged in rising floodwaters, and lightning illuminating storm-darkened skies. Yet, amid the destruction, stories of resilience and neighborly support have emerged. From volunteers clearing debris from blocked streets to strangers offering shelter to those displaced by the storm, communities are coming together in the face of adversity. As night deepens, the work continues. Utility crews are racing to restore power where they can. Emergency shelters remain open, offering food, water, and a place to rest. And meteorologists are tracking additional storm activity that could bring more severe weather in the days ahead. Authorities urge residents to stay alert, monitor official weather updates, and take all necessary precautions to stay safe. This has been one of the most severe and widespread storm events of the season so far, and recovery will take time. We will continue to monitor developments and bring you the latest as communities assess the damage and begin the long process of rebuilding. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.